Hey friends, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Jenna. I love to crochet plushies, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. For today's video, I am going to be doing some reflecting on this past year and talk about what I wish I would have done differently in 2024 and what I can change going into 2025. If you're new here, I've been running my small business for the past 3 years now. I learned how to crochet back in January of 2022 and haven't stopped since. I'm honestly so thankful for all of the immense growth that happened in 2024, especially for my business. I feel like this year has been absolutely game-changing. This was the first year I did Patreon full-time. I came out with 2 patterns per month. Some months I even came out with more. I feel like in prior years my focus was really just having my shop open and selling physical plushies, but this year with moving and just life being crazy, I really just focused on selling patterns. I introduced new merch to my store, like print-on-demand products. It was a crazy year for sure. And then next year, I'm taking the big leap of faith and I'm going full-time with my business. I'm honestly a little scared, but that's kind of the reason why I wanted to do this video. I think it's so important to do self-reflection, especially when you're a business owner, just so you can learn from your mistakes and improve on your business going into the new year so you could set yourself up for even more success. And I just wanted to quickly say thank you guys so much for all of your support and love that you've given me over the years, not even just this year. I know a lot of you have been watching my channel since the very beginning, so that's back in 2023, and I just wanted to say thank you so much. I would not have been able to accomplish all that I did this year if it weren't for you guys. So seriously, from the bottom of my heart, I'm so thankful and grateful for your support and love. You guys are the best. But alright, with that, let's jump into today's video. What I changed, number 1, offer more physical plushies. So kind of like I explained in the intro, this was the first year that my shop was primarily closed for physical plushies. I feel like in 2022 and 2023, the main focus of my shop was selling made-to-order plushies, so people could always order from my shop and I would fulfill those orders throughout the year. However, this year, I really didn't offer many physical plushies, if not any, and my main focus was pattern designing. If you guys didn't know, I do have a Patreon, so with my Patreon, I come out with 2 free patterns every month for my members. So over the course of the year, I've designed over 24 patterns for them. And I feel like since I was focused on designing these 2 patterns per month, my month was more busy because coming up with a design, pattern testing it, finalizing it, and then releasing it does take a lot of time. So I feel like that's the main reason why I kind of pivoted away from physical plushies, just because when you make physical plushies, a lot of your time is taken up physically crocheting. So that's definitely something different that happened in 2024, and honestly I miss making plushies so much. I feel like the plushies that I did make were either ad hoc custom commissioned orders, or also just random plushies that I made throughout the year from my own pattern designs, and then I just listed them for sale on my shop. But that's really it. I never really had my shop open for made to order. Well, actually that's a lie. I did offer my jumbo sunflower turtles as a pre-order, made-to-order item, but that's it. I also wrote my book this past year, so I keep forgetting that. Writing my book took up so much time. I worked on it for over a year. I started working on it early 2023, and then a good half of 2024. I'd say I stopped working on it and writing it in June of this year, so it took up a good 6 months. So that's also why I had my shop closed. And then also my husband and I moved across the country, so that also took up a good chunk of my time. So hopefully going into 2025, I will be able to offer more physical plushies, take on more commissioned orders. It makes me so happy being able to fulfill and make these custom orders for you guys, because most of the time these custom orders are really special, whether it's a pet memorial plushie or something for a child that is significant to them, or just something that is so special to someone where they're trying to bring either a drawing or a piece of art to life. that they wouldn't be able to otherwise, and having the ability to do that for them is just so like priceless. It's the main reason why I wanted to even start crocheting in the first place. Like, I love bringing stuffed animals to life and making my own stuffed animals, so I feel like making physical plushies is definitely important to keeping my crochet passion alive. So going into 2025, I'm going to carve out more time and have more physical plushies for sale, both for made to order, custom slots, and then also I could probably do a few like plushie drops throughout the year. And since I won't be working my corporate job full time on top of running my business, hopefully I should have more time. What I changed, number 2, sell on my own website sooner and focus on it a lot more. So back in January of 2022, when I first launched my business, I primarily sold on Etsy. I did not sell anywhere else. I didn't have my own standalone website. And honestly, for like the first year, it worked really well. But of course, Etsy has its cons, mainly the high fees and not being able to customize the layout of your shop. Those are the 2 biggest cons for me. So March of 2024, so earlier this year, I actually went ahead and switched to Shopify and launched my very own standalone website. And that's so crazy. That was March of this year. It feels like it was years ago. And honestly, making the switch to my own website was super nice. I had full control of how I wanted my website to look like. I added a bunch of fun pages, so I not only sold patterns and plushies on my website, but I also added a tab for like my YouTube channel, my Patreon, my book. And I feel like having your own website really gives you your own like standalone brand. It really sets you apart and establishes you as like your own business, versus if you're just selling on Etsy, it's totally fine, but you still kind of have like Etsy over your head. So it's nice to actually step out and be your own brand. But looking back on this year, I totally wish I started my Shopify website sooner and had my own website honestly from the go. And this is actually the perfect time to talk about today's sponsor, .store. So as a small business owner, you're most likely going to turn to the internet to sell your products. Selling online allows you to reach such a huge audience and really opens up big doors of opportunity. And when selling online, your website and your domain name are the 2 most important tools in your tool belt, because these are how you will actually connect with your customers and sell your products. Your domain name is ultimately how your customers will find your store, since it's literally what they have to type into the search bar. If you think about it, your domain name is like your online address. And when it comes time to picking out your domain name, it can definitely be overwhelming. I personally was very intimidated by the process. So it honestly helps to look at what other successful businesses are using and follow their lead. Music icon Rihanna is rocking www.rihanna.store. Mr. Beast ditched the usual .com and switched to a .store. And even Michelle Obama is using a .store domain. Clearly there's a pattern here. .store is the way to go. A .store domain will help set you apart from your competitors and help your store stand out amongst all of the .coms. And most importantly, your customers will know immediately that your website is an online store with a .store domain. It's like having those huge open neon signs right outside your store. But do you want to know the real tea? With a .store domain, you actually sell more. A year-long study showed that websites using a .store domain attracted a whopping 87% more visitors. Like, that's literally crazy. You also get double the visibility on Google with a .store domain, which means more eyes on your products, which means more chances for a sale. And aside from all of these amazing facts, let me tell you about all the potential savings that you can get. When you first launch your business, money is tight, and .store understands that. They actually started this program called Elevate.store that helps all online sellers with crazy deals and discounts. So when you opt for a .store domain, you're not only getting the snazziest domain name, but you're also unlocking access to exclusive discounts of up to $2,500 on essential e-commerce tools such as Wix, Vistaprint, MailChimp, and so many more. It's almost like it pays to have a .store domain. So here's the best part. For a limited time only, you can get your very own .store domain for only 99 cents for the first year. Yes, for the entire first year, for less than $1, you can get the snazziest domain name. Just use my code Jenna at checkout and you're all set. With a .store domain, you can truly supercharge your success and set your small business on the path to greatness. And just to quickly segue segue back to my main point, if you can, I feel like you should totally switch to your own standalone website. That is something that I personally would have done differently in 2024. And I'm actually still selling on Etsy, so I kept my Etsy running and I'm also selling on my own standalone website, but I feel like that has hurt my website's performance. I haven't really given it like the attention and marketing that it needs just because I do have my Etsy store. So I feel like in 2025, I might close down my Etsy and just go full-blown standalone website and see how it will perform, because right now my Etsy does outperform my standalone website, but I think that's only because I don't market my standalone website. So that's something I definitely want to try out and test the waters on in 2025. What I changed, number 3, crochet more projects just for me. So when I reflect back and try to figure out what were some of the favorite things that I've made in 2024, I'd say all 3 of them were projects that I made just for fun and just for me. Specifically, my Rainbow Nessie, my Jumbo Toothless Snuggler, and Winnie the Dragon. I think those were my top 3 projects of 2024, and all of them stemmed from me just wanting to make them. And people actually ask me this question all the time. They're like, Jenna, do you ever get burnt out from like making orders for other people? Like, do you ever have the urge to just create something just for yourself? And the answer is totally yes. As much as I love making plushies for others and fulfilling orders and running my small business, sometimes I do just miss crocheting just for me. So as a piece of advice, I always try to tell people to try and fit in a project just for them. This definitely helps prevent burnout, and also it keeps your crochet passion alive. I feel like there's just something so special about wanting to make something, sitting down and making it just for you. So in 2025, I definitely want to prioritize myself more, and I want to make more projects that are special just for me. If you guys didn't already know, I have all of my crochet patterns on my iPad. I use the app Notability to store them all in one place, and I've accumulated so many different patterns over the years that I just have not been able to make. So in 2025, a really good goal of mine is to cross off a lot of those patterns finally and make them. And honestly, that would be a really good video topic. What I changed, number 4, make more vlogs on YouTube. So 2024 was actually my first full year on YouTube. I launched my channel back in, I think it was April of 2023. So this was the first year of doing it, the entire year, and I always tried to come out with a video every Wednesday. I also came out with some bonus videos on the weekend, but I think I really did stick to every video every Wednesday, which looking back is kind of crazy. I'm glad I stuck to my goal. If you're also trying to be a YouTuber, YouTube definitely rewards consistency. So picking a day to upload and sticking to that will help you and help boost you in the algorithm. But I think next year I definitely want to focus on my like crochet with me vlogs and focus on vlogs in general. I did experiment a lot this year with different types of videos. I was doing like business videos, kind of like this one. I did tutorials, I did vlogs, and I feel like my favorite videos to film and make are my vlogs, especially like my crochet and chats, my crochet with me's. It's so fun to sit down and film those because I genuinely feel like I'm crocheting with all of you guys, and I read the comments and you guys feel like you're crocheting with me. So like that's just perfect. That is exactly the point of the vlogs. I want to make it feel like I'm crocheting with a friend, that you're crocheting with a friend, and that we're all crochet buddies together. So definitely going into 2025, I want to prioritize vlogs. And honestly, now that I won't be working my full-time corporate job on top of running my small business, I will have so many more opportunities to vlog. Like I've always wanted to do like a day in my life, or like let's crochet for 24 hours, like fun challenges like that, and vlogs that kind of show like the behind the scenes. And with working full time, it was kind of hard to incorporate a lot of that just because a majority of my day was working on a computer. So now in 2025, I can totally take you guys through the entire day with me. I can kind of give you the POV of crocheting full time, and I think it'll be really fun. So definitely stay tuned for all of those fun vlogs next year. What I changed, number 5, connect with my audience more. So looking back, I'd say 2024 was the first year that I didn't respond to all of my YouTube comments, all of my Instagram comments, and all of my Instagram messages. And I feel really bad about that, honestly, because when I first started out, especially on YouTube, I made it my goal to reply to every single comment. And honestly, I was doing so well with it until I went on vacation, and then then, you know, those 4 days of not responding to comments really caught up to me. And after that, I was never able to fully catch back up. But also, to be fair, I feel like a lot of my comments come from old videos. So now that I've accumulated so many different videos over this year and last year, it is definitely hard to keep up. But with that being said, I do genuinely miss replying to comments. I love when you guys comment. I love reading them and I love replying. So I definitely want to prioritize in 2025 connecting with you guys more and replying to those comments. Especially now that I won't be working, I should theoretically have more time. So I definitely want to carve out a chunk of my day of just replying back to you guys because I think it's so important. And same thing with Instagram. My Instagram DMs are so bad. I used to reply to my messages every single day, and honestly it would take me like a good hour, but I would get through all of them. And again, once I went on vacation, that really fell through and I never was able to catch back up. But starting in January 2025, I am going to carve out time because I feel like I miss out on so many of your guys' questions, on just connecting with you guys, and I feel like it's really important to respond back. So even if I'm not able to respond to all of the messages and comments, I think just carving out like an hour a day to respond to a majority of them will be so impactful, and I really am going to try to prioritize that. I will say my email and my Patreon DMs, I'm always up to date on them. I make sure I respond to all of my emails and all of my Patreon messages. So if you ever do need to seriously contact me, do it through email, or if you're a patron of mine, do it through Patreon DMs, and I will 100% get back to you. And with that being said, I just wanted to say thank you guys so much again. You are seriously the best. Reading your comments and your emails seriously makes my day, and it makes me so happy to connect with you guys, and I can't wait to connect more with you next year. What I changed, number 6, incorporate more work-life balance. So since starting my crochet business, I feel like my work-life balance has been non-existent. If I'm not working my corporate job, I'm working on my crochet business, and that pretty much takes up the entire 24-hour period. So if you think about it, I really am working all day, every day, even on weekends, because that is when I really catch up on my crochet business. So if you think about it, I'm always working, and honestly, that's pretty bad. I definitely need to do a better job of establishing boundaries and taking a step back and not working all the time. I feel like I struggle with this though because I don't view crochet work as actual work. I love crocheting so much, and working on my crochet business is seriously so fun. So it's hard for me to really like separate work and just regular life. But I will say it is super important to have work-life boundaries so you don't burn yourself out. And I feel like a majority of questions that I get from you guys is related to burnout, especially with crochet and other hobbies that require you to physically like make them and work on them. It is super easy to get burnt out. I definitely have been there multiple times this year, and what helps me is really to just step away, completely shut my brain off to all things crochet business, and kind of pivot to a different hobby. I especially love coloring and I love playing video games. They're kind of mindless in a sense where you don't really have to think about them, and that's what I really enjoy about them, and I always go to either coloring or video games when I'm trying to prevent burnout. And thinking back over this past year, 2024 has definitely been a wild year for my business. I had a lot of different deliverables due, a lot of different projects, a lot of different things that took up a good majority of my time, like writing my book and establishing all of my patterns. So going into 2025, I want to do a better job of really like establishing those boundaries and kind of setting like a work routine, especially now that I'm not working a 9-to-5 corporate job. I feel like my crochet business can have normal business hours, and then after those hours, I will not think about crochet or my business. And this will hopefully allow me more free time to work on other hobbies that I have put on pause ever since crocheting. Specifically like reading. I really miss reading. I haven't really picked up a book in so long. I am reading Fourth Wing, but I haven't been able to finish it because I haven't had time. So I really want to get back to reading. I really want to get back to like journaling, especially junk journaling. I think that's so much fun. That was one of my main goals in 2024, was to like junk journal consistently, and I wasn't able to do that because I lacked free time. So hopefully I can get back to that. And I also want to try new hobbies. I haven't tried a new hobby in the past 3 years, ever since I started crochet, and I'm finally getting the itch again. I really want to try either rug tufting or punch needling. I mentioned this to you guys previously in some other videos, and I haven't been able to try it because I haven't had time. So 2025, hopefully I'll be able to establish more boundaries, have more free time, and try try out some new hobbies. What I changed, number 7, expanding my business. So in 2024, my other main goal for my business was to launch crochet kits. And looking back, that was totally not a realistic goal because there was no time for that this year. But in 2025, that will be my main focus. By the end of 2025, I want my kits out in the world. And especially not having to work on my book for 6 months out of the year, I think all of the time that I took working on my book can now be redirected to working on my crochet kits. I'm so excited about this project because I feel like so many of you want to learn how to crochet and want to start but don't know where to start. And honestly, when I first learned 3 years ago, it is overwhelming. Like figuring out what hook size should you use, what's the best yarn for beginners, what's the best beginner-friendly pattern. There's so many things to figure out and it's pretty unclear, honestly, if you're not already familiar with the world of crochet. So I want to bundle that all up into one kit for you guys. So if you ever want to start crocheting or make one of my patterns, boom, you can just buy the kit. It'll have everything you need, video tutorials, the whole 9 yards. Crochet truly changed my life and it is one of the best hobbies, if not the best hobby. It helps you relax, it helps with mental health, you can honestly make a good living out of it. There's so many benefits to crocheting, so the more people who learn how to crochet, the better, and I definitely want to help with that. So offering kits is one way that I can expand my business, and then another way is to offer more merch slash like print on demand products. So more crew neck designs, more hoodie designs, more hat designs. You guys honestly have been loving the hats and I'm so glad because they are super cute. So I want to come out with more hat designs in the future, offer more colors. Oh, and stationery, how could I forget? Offer more stickers, notepads, etc. It's like a whole big wide world out there and I'm really excited to focus full-time on my business and really start expanding it more. But alright, that brings us to the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. It was honestly so fun reflecting back on this past year. It has been a roller coaster, but I'm so thankful for all of the growth and opportunities that this year has brought me. I am so appreciative and thankful and grateful for all of you. My business and my YouTube and my Instagram, everything would not be where it is without you guys. So seriously, thank you so much. And I seriously cannot wait for 2025. There's so many fun things in store and I can't wait to bring you guys along for the journey. So until next time, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye!